Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to the MCC All-Stars pre-show. We'll be going over all of the analysis, predictions, and statistics that you need to know for this very special, winners-only MCC. I'm X, and joining me today are three other wonderful commentators.
Hi, my name is Stein, and I have a creative intro.
Hi, I'm Lockie, and I just had a nightmare where a shark ate me and then Phil's of Minecraft got first individual.
Hi, I am Mystery, and I hate the push-ups.
A reminder that not every winner could compete in MCC All-Stars, and so if your favourite content creator isn't in this event, hopefully they'll have a chance to compete again soon. And as always, we are not the Nox crew. We're just a group of friends who try and make high quality MCC content for all of you to enjoy. With that out of the way, let's get into some analysis about each team and talk about their keys to victory. First up, we have the highly requested 4 Muffin Tears team on the Red Rabbits. As the statistically strongest team in this event, Red is certainly a force to be reckoned with. I'd expect them to dominate in a range of movement, PvP, and teamwork games, including To Get to the Other Side, Battle Box, Sky Battle, and Sands of Time. The crucial thing for Red getting to Dodgeball is just making sure that they get Build Mart, their weakest game by far, out of the way early. Otherwise, they may face the dreaded Build Mart finale.
The Orange team features Solidarity Gaming, Wisp, Smallish Beans, and F-Whip. This team will most likely play a more casual role in this MCC, so if you're looking for a non-competitive and relaxed vibe, this may be the team for you to watch. However, there are a couple games in which they do stand a competitive chance. They're a strong Build Mart team, with Wisp being their only player who is weak at the game, and depending on the map, they could also win some rounds of Battle Box with strong leadership from Wisp.
Alright, fan favourites from MCC 5, the Yellow Yaks, sees the return of Scott's Major, Shovel, Quig, and my best friend in the whole world, CPK. Going into the event, this team looks like to be one of the strongest, and going off the numbers that is, and with a diverse range of skills, the Yellow Yaks will be a force to be reckoned with, from everything from Build Mart all the way over to Ace Race. So if you ask Dr. Strange, there are many futures that sees this team making it to Dodgeball.
Next up, the Lime Llamas have got Illumina, Finster, SB737, and Sylvie. And seeing as 3 of those people got their wins during Season 2, it's pretty safe to say that this team is going to have some clear winning energy. Finn only had to play in MCC 16 to get his Season 2 win, where he did excellent in movement games. SP did the same thing in MCC 17, where he specialized in team games. And after some of her best performances so far, Sylvie got her very best performance alongside a win during MCC 18, where she popped up in PvP. And Illumina has been a clear S tier since he joined the event. He got first last time, so we know he can carry.
For all of you Pete plus Green enjoyers, you're in luck, as All-Stars sees the return of this iconic duo, teaming up with Ragai Rocky and Cubfan135 to make the Green Geckos. My first instinct is that this is the Build Mart team of this event. All of the players are strong at Build Mart, and so Green should definitely push for it to be played late, alongside games like Hole in the Wall and Sands of Time. Definitely though, should be trying to avoid games like Battle Box and Parkour Tag, which some members have done poorly in previously. With some solid performances all around, this wholesome team has a pretty great shot at Dodgeball.
The Cyan Coyotes have Puns, Captain Puffy, Blushy, and JoJo solos. This team introduces 2 winners from MCC Rising, Blushy and JoJo, and these are the only 2 players in All-Stars that have never won a canon event. Joining them are Puns, one of the most improved players in Season 2, and Captain Puffy, a longtime veteran of MCC. This team is certainly strong and to get to the other side, and contrary to the stats, I believe this team can pop off in survival games since they're all capable PvPers, and Puns is one of the best SG players in the tournament.
Is this Middle-earth? Because I see a return of the king. 4 kings, actually. The Aqua Axolotls have an outstanding lineup of Krinios, Minimuka, Bitzel, and Eret. The X-Factor on this team is going to be Bitzel, who has only played twice, but performed exceedingly well in both events he did. If he can show up on the big day, and this team finds themselves playing Battle Box in the second half, there's a chance they could go far, so don't count them out just yet.
On the Blue Bats, we have potentially one of the most hyped up teams in the history of MCC. H-Bomb, Fruit Berries, False Symmetry, and Rendog. It's for a good reason that so many people want to see this team, as they became the 3rd highest scoring team of all time when they won MCC 9. H-Bomb and Fruit have both made Dodgeball appearances, but have had rather lackluster performances in their other events. Meanwhile, False and Red have unfortunately not returned to that same competitive level. So if these 4 can get back into their winning synergy, they can pull off a domination way better than the one they pulled off last time.
Our penultimate team takes us all the way back to MCC 1, as we see the return of the MCC 1 Purple Pandas. Though this team may seem a bit weaker than some of those on the roster, they definitely can make Dodgeball with a few good plays, avoiding movement games like Parkour Tag and Hole in the Wall. In favour of more comms-based games, such as Battle Box and Build Mart, is definitely a good idea for this team. Build Mart in particular is a really strong game for this team. This team will definitely need a few pop-off performances, but they've all shown in the past that they can pop off when it really matters.
We round off the teams with this squad of 4 fan favorites, the Pink Parrots, with Philza, Tubbo, Tommy, and Wilbur. They bring the energy of the Sleepy Boys, but unfortunately without our beloved Technoblade. As with any SVI team, they will excel in PvP and movement, with particularly high potential in To Get to the Other Side and Sky Battle. This will certainly be one of the funniest teams to watch, and they also have potential to be a competitive threat.
And those are all of our keys to victory. With that, we're going to move over to our next segment, Game Masters.
Welcome to Game Masters. In this segment, X and I are going to take turns looking at each MCC game and deciding which All-Stars team we personally think will do the best at it. So without further ado, why don't you take it away with our first game?
Alright, first up, we've got Ace Race. And for me, Yellow are very much the team to beat here. Quig is a consistently high-placing Ace Race player, no matter what the map is. CPK has been popping off since MCC 16, and Scott pretty reliably comes between like 15th and 20th place. Definitely a pretty scary team to me.
I can't see myself picking any other team to win Ace Race when Yellow has Quig, Scott, and CPK. They're gonna do pretty well in this game, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yellow is very much the team to beat for Ace Race.
Next up is BattleBox, and some may not agree with me, but I want to say that Pink is gonna get first in BattleBox. There are some strong PvP teams out there, don't you mind, but none of these teams have the secret weapon that is Wilbur. If they can use their chemistry on Pink together to their absolute fullest, they could be an unstoppable BattleBox team.
Yeah, you said that a few people might disagree with you, and I think I'm one of those people here. Red are the total force to be reckoned with in BattleBox. Sapnap and Dream are a crazy good duo, and George and Bad are both competent PvPers as well, so I don't even think they need to pop off. If Red can just perform how they normally would in a BattleBox, they've got a very good chance of winning. Sorry to crush your spirits surrounding Wilbur there, though.
It's okay.
Alright, next up, we have Build Mart. And I'm going to take the very safe bet here and say that the Green Geckos have the best chance. Grian and Pete worked really well together in MCC 17 to destroy Build Mart. And I can't really see either Cub Fan or Ryagay Rocky having any issues following Grian's instructions, as he micromanages them to victory.
Alright, you make a good point, but I personally want to shock everyone here. I'm going to say that Blue will win Build Mart, which might sound absurd to some people, especially with teams like Green Geckos or the Yellow Yaks existing, but I think the old Bats have it in them to, with H-Bomb and False, to pull off a victory in this game.
Interesting. So, what game have we got up next?
Alright, and next we've got Grid Runners. Now, this may become a recurring theme, I don't know, but I predict Yellow to dominate Grid Runners. A team with Quig and Scott just shouldn't lose, in theory, but I'd say Yellow is a safe bet to win Grid Runners.
I'm gonna go a bit more of a wild prediction here. I'm gonna say I think Orange actually have a really good chance at winning Grid Runners. Flip has some of the best comms in all of MCC, and him and Solidarity worked incredibly well together for Grid Runners in MCC 17. With Wisp and Joe also having very strong comms, I feel like they definitely could have the potential to pop off and shock everyone with a Grid Runners win.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on to the next game, we have Hole in the Wall, the game with no glitches whatsoever. And I'm gonna say that Red have a good chance of winning this one. Sapnap and George have both won Hole in the Wall rounds this season, and Dream pretty reliably survives quite late in the game. The one time that Bad played it, he came 23rd, but not a bad placement at all.
Okay. I think that Lime is going to win Hole, alright? Because we all know Illumina is a movement beast. Not many people can do it like him. And I do think that SB, Sylvie, and Finn all have the ability to go for strong showings in this game. I see the potential. And next is Parkour Tag. Pretty simple, Red. Red will win Parkour Tag. Absolutely no debate from me about that. Red is going to win Parkour Tag. X?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the obvious pick here and say Red will win. Dream and Sapnap are two of the best runners and the best hunters in the whole event, and Bad and George have both proven to be solid players as well. Red will probably dominate in Parkour Tag.
Very scary.
Anyway, moving on to another scary game, we have Sands of Time. And for me, the team with the best balance of comms and skill is the Blue Bats. H-Bomb is unarguably one of the best explorers in the whole event, and has shown in MCC 9 and MCC 16 that he works really well with Rendog being Sandkeeper. So I think that's a really strong thing for them.
Alright, I like your faith, but I'm personally going to take a different direction with my prediction, and say that orange will come out on top for Sands of Time. But the thing is, I can't precisely say why. I just see it in my mind. I don't know what it is about this team, but I just think the four of them are a solid group, and they can do it. Please, indulge me in why. I have this gut feeling that it's going to be orange. I think they have it in them.
With Ffoot being one of the best Sandkeepers in the event, definitely something which could happen.
Under Sky Battle. And for Sky Battle, I think Cyan will be the team to beat. They have a stacked PvP lineup, and by playing the game correctly, they can earn enough coins to win the game.
Yep, I could see Cyan doing pretty well in Sky Battle, but for me, the strongest Sky Battle team is actually Pink. Tommy and Tubbo are both masters of impressive, high kill plays, and Wilbur's played a really strong support role in the past in Sky Battle. With that, we now get to the hardest game to predict. Survival games.
Oh boy.
Through the chaos of this game, I'm personally feeling that Puns will lead his team to victory. Cyan has 4 players who can all hold their own at PvP to some various degree, but more importantly, I think they're going to have really good comms that will help guide them to a win.
Alright, that's good prediction. I was sort of saying about Puns' leadership maybe in Sky Battle setting, but Survival Games is also good. I wanted to say Cyan for this game, but bringing them back, I can once again not look past seeing red. Red will very likely, alright? You look at the numbers, I don't know, I got a feeling Red's gonna dominate Survival Game. Very strong. Dream, Sapnap, George, bad. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, but I personally think that they're gonna be the ones to take that game home.
Yeah, Red definitely one of the scarier teams in all of the different PvP games.
And now, for the final game, to get to the other side and whack a fan. The best name of the game, by the way. Now, what if I told you I thought Pink will win to get to the other side and whack a fan? I see potential in all 4 of them to whack those fans as quickly as they can.
Yeah, as much as it might be seen as a slightly controversial pick, I think I'd have to agree with Lockie. I think Pink, though they might not necessarily have as many pop-off to get to the other side players like Fruitberries or Illumina, all of them are just reasonably strong movement players who can pick up a few team bonuses along the way. Anyway, with that, that's all of our opinions of who's going to win every game, and that's all from Game Masters. Let's get over to our next segment, This or That.
And welcome back over to This or That. Now, you've watched the pre-show before, you know the drill. Stein and I are going to be given a question, and we are allowed to answer with either this or that, and you'll see what we have to say. Stein, you ready?
No.
That's fair. Alright, let's start it off. What is our first prompt? Alright, we've got Dream or Sapnap, higher placement. We're already with a hard one. Stein, what do you think?
Okay, for this one, I would go with Sapnap simply because he's been going crazy in Season 2, getting top 4 individual in, I think, all but one of his events.
I'm going to have to stick with Dream here. If there's one player who's going to grind this event in terms of both practice and studying, in my eyes, it's going to be Dream just because this might be considered one of the most important events in MCC history.
Our next question in Survival Game, is the blue team going to win or are they going to lose?
This might be the most risky pick of the whole video, but I think they're going to win. When you look at the recent Survival Games performances, H-Bomb and Fruit have been continuing to pop off. If they're able to have good chemistry with False and Run, which I have no doubt about, they can actually do pretty well in Survival Games.
I personally think they're not going to be as successful as last time, especially since members of the red team have become much better at PvP since then, and they're all teamed up now. I also think other teams are going to be generally playing much smarter than back in MCC 9.
Well, I want to disagree with you. That is a fair point. But let's see what's up next. Alright, will the point record be broken in this event? Now keep in mind, it's a non-canon event. It wouldn't count, but it could happen. What do you think, Stein?
I'm going to pass on this one. I think the record set by the MCC 7 Green Guardians is just so dominant. It's very unlikely for anyone to top them.
And as much as I want it to happen, I do agree that it's not going to happen this event. And yes, because of the nature of this event, the teams aren't as balanced as they normally would be. However, this is also probably going to be the most competitive event in the history of MCC. I think even the last place team will not be out of dodgeball contention until the very end.
Our next question, okay, is out of the Rising winners, MCC Rising winners, are JoJo or Blushy going to get a higher placement?
Okay, well, when it comes to JoJo and Blushy, obviously, they were only in MCC Rising, so we don't know that much about their MCC skill or experience too much. In Rising, JoJo placed higher than Blushy did, and in my opinion, that was because JoJo put a lot more time and effort into practicing and studying for the event, so much that she even started her VOD review right after she won. So, unless we see Blushy start to grind more and more before the event, I think it's going to go to JoJo again.
I'm going to be honest, I 100% agree with everything you've said.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, last but not least, which game that was previously in MCC, but not anymore, do you think is most likely to return?
I think Rocket Spleef is probably the most likely, because it's the one game that was expected to come back in Season 2, but it still hasn't returned. I want to see Rocket Spleef back, and I think it has a good chance, because it was removed rather recently. A lot of people were expecting it back.
Alright, that's fair, that's fair. Well, I'm going to go with one that I don't think much of the community wants, and I can understand that, but I'm going to try to make a case for it. Give me Parkour Warrior. Because to celebrate 2 years of MCC with this event, Nox Crew will, hopefully at least, want to bring back some of the more classic games and sort of just vibes of the event. And one of those is the just overall competitiveness of Parkour Warrior. And seeing this as, like I said, probably the most competitive MCC we'll ever have, I think this could be the best spot for it to return, especially considering many people don't want it to return.
That Mystery loves grinding parkour, so he's a bit biased. But anyway, we're going to move on to the next part of the pre-show. We're going to return to the main desk for some predictions.
And welcome back to the main desk, home of individual predictions. Each of us will talk about our top 3 players, as well as a dark horse player who we think could pop off this event. Starting off, for my top 3, I think we'll be seeing both Dream and Sapnap making it into the top 3. I feel like Dream is more likely to come first, doing well in games like To Get to the Other Side and Sky Battle, as well as performing well besides Sapnap in Battle Box, Parkour Tag, and survival games. Rounding out my top 3 is Fruitberries in second place. With his raw mechanical skill and great leadership and support from his team, it'll definitely be helping him perform to his best this event. For my dark horse, I have the People's King, Bitzel. Even though Bitzel hasn't played since MCC 6, he's already begun VOD reviewing and training in 1.16 PvP and MCC games, though he will definitely need to do a huge overperformance. I believe in Bitzel's supremacy.
For my predictions, I actually put Pete in first place. I expect a lot of his best games to be selected, such as Ace Race, Sands of Time, Hole in the Wall, and I think he's going to have one of his best performances yet. However, I think Sapnap and Dream will round out the top 3, seeing as they are part of a very strong team, and will surely have great chemistry. It honestly doesn't matter which games are selected. I think that these two will pop off in just about anything. My dark horse is Ryguy Rocky. I predict that he's going to be an important factor in the success of his team, and I fully expect him to deliver, getting in the top 15 individually. He joined MCC Pride after a long absence, and was at the top of his game, and I believe that he will produce a similar performance here.
Alright, I predict Pete to be first overall. As usual, no surprise there. I then see Sapnap in second place, and third place to Quig, because I think he has a pretty strong team behind him. Now for my dark horse player, last time I said George was going to make the top 10, and I was right. This time, things are getting weird, alright? What kind of dark timeline are we living in for me to have Pizza Hut as my dark horse? My dark horse to get first. It's a tight race between all the S tiers, and while Dream might be the favorite amongst everyone here and some of the people online, I still think Pete can take it home for the individual scores.
For my top 2, I've got Dream and Sapnap first and second respectively. Red is easily one of the most overpowered teams in the history of MCC, so I have no doubt to achieve high individual placements. And in third place, I've got Illumina. Illumina has also been dominating this season, and while that domination does include a lot of movement games, it more so includes PvP games, so I believe Illumina will do just that. And for my dark horse, I've got another member of the Lamb Llamas, Finster. Finn has never done particularly bad in an event, and he even had his best ever performance in his own recent one, which he won. So, with the team he's now on, I think he can very well top that performance.
I don't understand how half of the desk has Pete outside the top 3. Literally, me and Lockie have him as first place. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, not even in the top 3. Do you want to explain yourselves?
I do think he's got a very good chance of getting into the top 5, but the thing is, Red's just so strong this MCC that Dream and Sapnap are likely to steal 2 of the top 3 placements, in my mind. And because of that, even if Pete is competing at the top of his game, it's very possible that someone else just does a bit better. I think he'll certainly do well, but I just don't think he'll quite make top 3 this event.
The audacity of some of you at this table. But the fact that you guys, after all this time, would doubt Pizza Hut. I'm sorry, I'm getting all so dramatic, and worked up over this, but it's Pete. He is the MCC player. I just, words cannot describe it. He is a beast, alright?
With all that in mind, I feel there is something that does need to be factored into this discussion. In my opinion, this is going to be a very PvP heavy event. And do we think Pizza will be able to keep up with that to put himself in the top 3?
See, I actually think there isn't going to be much PvP in this event. I think because everybody's going to be so incredibly scared of the red team, everyone's going to be voting for other games. I think this is going to be a very movement-heavy event.
Alright. Well, to summarize, George Not Found will be in the top 10. Now we're going to take it over to our team predictions.
As Lockie already said, it is time to get into our team predictions. We'll discuss who we think will be making it to the top 2 and winning Dodgeball, as well as who our dark horse team is. For me, I see Red being the first place team this event, as well as the winners of Dodgeball. With how versatile they are, it really seems quite unlikely to me that we'll see a Dodgeball without the Red team. They're also one of the strongest Dodgeball teams of all time, and so it will definitely be difficult to beat them for any team that makes it to Dodgeball. My second place team, as well as my dark horse, is the Blue Bats. I think this team have been underrated in a lot of games they're actually quite good at, including Sky Battle, Ace Race, and Sands of Time. With a good game order, possibly an SG pop-off reminiscent of MCC 9, I think we could see Blue making it to Dodgeball.
For my team predictions, I've also, unsurprisingly, put Red in first place, and I predict them to win the finals. Even with Build Mart as a Game 8, they're going to be so dominant in the first 7 games that they're still going to be in first. Like, it doesn't even matter. Especially since they're all such naturally competitive individuals that there's no way they miss Dodgeball. My second place and my dark horse team is the Green Geckos. I believe that Pete will clutch up and get a massively high score, Guy will have one of his best showings, and Green and Cub will pop off as support players. They're going to reach Dodgeball.
Interesting. As everyone has said, Red is very likely to get first overall, and as someone who will be watching them on that day, I'm very happy about that, so I've put them in first. They will be taking on the Lime Llamas, who are also my dark horse team. It was actually one Joey Capollo who mentioned to me that the Lime Llamas look like a very underrated team, and I agree.
For me, first place and my Dodgeball winner is also going to be the Red Rapids. I want to point out is their chemistry. Lots of people are predicting this team to do well because of pure skill. They're also the most well-associated team in this event, something I really think can help them out. In second though, I'm going to go with the Yellow Yaks. This team obviously won MCC 5, and since then, they've done nothing but get better. Quig is as dominant as he's ever been. CPK got his first 5 top placement just back in MCC 16. Now that they're back together, they can get another group appearance in Dodgeball. And for my dark horse, I'm taking the Lime Llamas. They've individually popped off throughout all of Season 2, so now that they're on a team together, I really can't see it going any other way for them. But going back to Dodgeball and Lime, Lockie, I don't understand how you think it's physically possible for Red to lose Dodgeball.
Well, I have this friend, you see, he's a wizard. And he looked into the future and saw about 14,605 different outcomes of MCC All-Stars. And in one of them, Red Rabbits lose. Yep, that's this one here, where Lime beats them in Dodgeball, alright? Because Illumina is a Dodgeball beast. Yes, Red has Dream and Satnap and George, but Illumina is also very much insane. And it was, I'm putting some of this blame on Joey Capollo, so if this prediction goes wrong, you can chase him and not me. Joey Capollo mentioned that on the Lime Llamas, you have Illumina, you also have SB, you have Sylvie, and you have Finn. And all 3 of those players are coming fresh off of a win, so I think they'll have the momentum going through.
So, to me, I think I'm going to have to agree with Mystery here. I think that Red have pretty strong chances in Dodgeball. The issue is less so that they've got one good player in Dodgeball, it's the fact that they have 3 players who are arguably all top 5 players in Dodgeball. They're all just very strong at the game. Because of that, it's going to be hard. The only team which I realistically think have a chance at beating them would be Blue. Blue have got Fruit Berries, H-Bomb, and False Symmetry, who are all top 10, top 15 Dodgeball players. And so, Red, against most teams, probably the winners. And with that, that is the end of our team predictions and the end of the pre-show. So, what do you think will be happening on MCC Day? Did we get something completely wrong in our predictions? Let us know in the comments what you think, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of our All-Stars content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.